technology that is built for your every sense. Acer Pure from Acer.
Of heated debates over the new anti-corruption legislation, the Prime Minister has made a resolute statement emphasizing that no government should operate from behind bars. The PM praised recent efforts to crack down on corruption, underlining the importance of clean governance for the country's future. Now, given the fact that the proposed anti-graft bills aim to strengthen legal frameworks to deter corrupt practices and ensure transparency, Prime Minister Narendra Modi asserted that the government is determined to push forward with reforms, sending a clear message that corruption will no longer be tolerated in public office.
जो जेल जाए उसने कुर्सी छोड़नी चाहिए कि नहीं छोड़नी चाहिए? क्या वो कुर्सी पर बैठे रह सकता है क्या? क्या वो सरकारी फाइलों पे साइन कर सकता है क्या? क्या जेल में से कोई सरकार चला सकता है क्या? और इसलिए ऐसा सख्त कानून बनाने की तरफ हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। लेकिन साथियों, ये आरजेडी वाले, ये कांग्रेस वाले, ये लेफ्ट वाले इस कानून का विरोध कर रहे हैं। ये बहुत गुस्से में है और कौन नहीं जानता उनको किस बात का डर है।
Now, clearly, it's a big message to opposition as days before Rahul Gandhi claimed that the country is back to witnessing medieval times where Raja could remove anybody that he wants. Take a listen.
We are going back to medieval times when the king could just remove anybody at will. There's no concept of what an elected person is. He doesn't like your face, so he tells ED, put a case, and then democratically elected person is wiped out within 30 days.
Let me go across to my colleague Pragya, who's joining us for more on this. Pragya, this intense political war of words continues right after the anti-graft bills were introduced in the parliament. But as far as the Prime Minister is concerned, he sent out a clear message today. Without naming Rahul Gandhi, he sent out a sharp message to the leader of the opposition.
You are right, and the messaging by Prime Minister, it is very significant, and also he is also garnering a public opinion and support, and he also knows that the people of the country will never stand with corruption, and this is the reason why he is time and again reiterating his stand on corruption. And he also spoke about this bill that have been sent to Joint Parliamentary Committee, because he also knows that the opposition, be it Congress, RJD, Samajwadi Party, they are going to oppose it. And this is why Prime Minister launched a scathing attack on all these opposition parties, saying that they created ruckus in the parliament over this bill because they believe, that their dreams are going to be shattered if this bill is passed. But this bill, we are, heading towards it, and we are taking it very seriously, because we want that anyone who is holding a constitutional position should not be out of the law. He should also, or she should also come under the purview of law, be it chief ministers, be it Prime Minister himself, or any cabinet ministers in the state as well as in the center. The intent of the government, and in fact Prime Minister, is that the more significant position you hold, the more accountable and responsible you are towards the people of the country, and corruption should never be tolerated and is never tolerated. And in fact he has the corruption becomes one of the central issues in the election of Bihar, and he's speaking this about from the land of Bihar, also sends out a message to the party that corruption is going to be the central theme as far as the opposition is needed to be taken on in this particular election. RJD, he spoke about the then rail minister, coming out in and out of the, appealing for the bail, coming in and out of the prison. Also, there are many who are out on bail without naming the Gandhi family. But it is a scathing attack on all these opposition parties and the top brass of these opposition parties who are out on bail in one or other corruption cases.
Right, Pragya, thanks very much for joining us at the moment. I'll keep coming back to you for the latest. At the moment, viewers, let's also get you what Rahul Gandhi has been saying as far as these anti-graft bills are concerned.
My opinion in the ordinance is that it's complete nonsense and that it should be torn up and thrown out. I'll repeat it for you. My opinion on the ordinance is that it should be torn up and thrown away. We are going back to medieval times when the king could just remove anybody at will. There's no concept of what an elected person is. He doesn't like your face, so he tells ED, put a case, and then democratically elected person is wiped out within 30 days.
So that is Rahul Gandhi, of course, years apart. You can see his statements, and therefore the question where Rahul Gandhi stands today, of course, he's saying that, the medieval times are back, and he's in fact taken that Raja jibe against the Prime Minister as well, that we're living in times where the Raja can decide who he wants and who he doesn't want. But as far as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is concerned, remember today he's given out a sharp response to Rahul Gandhi as well as his allies. The opposition, remember, has been speaking against these anti-graft bills, but the Prime Minister sending out a strong message saying those who are corrupt should be behind the bars and not contesting elections or not holding constitutional positions in the country. Also, as my colleague Pragya was saying, he's now put the central focus on the issue of corruption. He was speaking in Bihar, and therefore extremely crucial as far as the upcoming state assembly elections are concerned, sending out a message to his party cadres as well that this is the issue that the party will be focusing on in the Bihar assembly elections, as much as the centre has been making sure that these anti-graft bills are passed and that they are aimed at removing those who are corrupt, who have been charged with corruption. But the opposition refusing to back down. They have been hitting out at the Prime Minister as well as the centre, saying this is, a move that the centre, the government will use against opposition members whenever and wherever they want. Let me quickly go across to my colleague Pragya, who's back with us on the broadcast. Pragya, we just, played out Rahul Gandhi's statements from 2013 as well as this year as far as the anti-graft bill is concerned. And clearly, this is something that the opposition needs to reflect upon and needs to answer as far as their stance on this is concerned. And, reply and make sure they clarify their position to the citizens of the country where they stand on anti-corruption moves.
You know what BJP is saying, that if you compare both the statement of Rahul Gandhi, this looks like that you appropriate your positions and you also speak about whatever is convenient to you at that point of time. You were in power and you wanted to come across as someone who is a crusader against corruption, and that is why you tore that particular draft bill. And in fact, when you are on the other side now in the opposition, now you believe that the opposition, that the government in fact is trying to harm the opposition and also the target all the opposition ruled states and their chief ministers and their governments as well. So this is a very convenient position that you take depending on where you stand and when you stand. And Congress being one of the largest political parties among the India ally partners, whatever stand they take becomes very important for other allies as well. We had seen fragmentation in India bloc, but when it comes to the unity and when it comes to all of them feeling that they are under threat from the central government, they become one on this particular point of time. And everyone feeling that they can be put behind bars is also a fear among them that has made them a united opposition, as many BJP leaders also believe. But they are also seen as someone who is standing with corruption and who are fearful that if in future there is any case against them, they may be removed from their position of chief minister or the ministers in future. So this is also a fear among them that they may be targeted by central agencies and law enforcement.
The centre moves forward with this, and of course the Prime Minister sending out that strong message, the opposition unrelenting in its attack against the centre as far as these anti-graft bills are concerned. Beg your pardon. Pragya, thanks very much for joining us at the moment. Viewers, with that, let's shift our focus to the unexpected